Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Colton. In today's video, I'm gonna go over a handful of photos that sort of summarize my summer here in 2024. So I'm gonna look at a few things that I did artistically, casually, and even things that I might have done via a trip or vacation that I think do a good job of summarizing this summer. So without further ado, let's take a look at some photos. All right, so our first photo starting us out here is a photo of a museum in Houston, Texas. I took a trip the week after my birthday with my girlfriend, just as a chance to get out of Austin, get into a new city, and really with an emphasis on going to museums and art galleries, because for some reason, Austin, this very creative, very art-focused town, only has one major art gallery, which is so strange. The only other big museum in town is for like a Texas history museum. So it's so strange, but Houston has so many galleries and so many museums. So that was kind of the main goal of the trip. And then also just to kind of eat some different food at different places. And so this shot was actually from the car. As we were driving, I just saw this and was like, oh my God, that place looks amazing. I have to get a photo. So I shot it from the car. We did not actually go to this museum. I think this is a kids museum. But if I go back to Houston, I will definitely at least stop by this museum just to get a better shot of it, because I love the architecture. I love the kind of like, I don't know, like maybe 80s pastel kind of colors, or even like a 90s postmodernist sort of color scheme mixed with like a clearly Roman or Greek style architecture. But you don't see a lot of places like that. So that was definitely a double take moment for myself. And of course, I also got this shot from Houston as well, right outside. I want to say it was the Contemporary Art Museum. There was a statue, or not a statue, but a sculpture that was highly reflective, and it kind of had a funhouse effect. So my girlfriend and I got a quick fun shot in front of that, which was memorable for me. And also, right as we got this shot, a big storm rolled in and we had to like flee to our car. So yeah, but that was a really fun trip for me here in kind of the middle of July, kind of like a birthday trip for the two of us. All right, and the next one here is Little Jerry from Jerry's Artorama, which I think is sort of a local chain here in Texas. They have one in Houston, one in Austin. I think there's actually like a third location. But you know, this isn't maybe a award-winning photography shot, but the reason I wanted to include it is because number one, I love when a place has kind of something that helps them stand out, and especially like a little statue like Little Jerry is so cool. And we do have a few of those here in Austin. But also, I spent so much time and so many trips to Jerry's this summer, because a big emphasis this summer has been in getting ready for a few different galleries that I'm going to be in, and getting things framed, getting them prepared. And I didn't want to just pick up cheap frames at like, you know, a generic art store. And I also didn't want to necessarily have everything framed by a professional framing group. I kind of wanted to be able to actually put a little bit of myself in some of the final product. And so I've been finding frames at like, you know, thrift stores or yard sales, or even a few frames that are unassembled at Jerry's, and being able to put them together myself and do the full assembly, put in good glass, kind of touch them up. And it's been really exciting to put all the frames together myself. Big shout out to my brother who's helped me do that as well. But a lot of trips to Jerry's this summer. And then, okay, look, this is not just for vanity that I'm including a photo of myself. I like to take a portrait of myself every year on my birthday, sort of to document that day and what I looked like at that age. And then a lot of times I will print it out onto a Instax mini print just for kind of the novelty of it, and then tape it into my journal and write sort of a entry about, you know, my thoughts on who I am and the year to come, and maybe some things that I want to accomplish, and maybe even some things that I did accomplish in the year prior. So for me, it is really important to document that. And so I wanted to include that here as well, because it was a really big moment for me this summer, and of course every summer, since my birthday is always on the same day in the summer. But yeah. All right, and of course, you knew there were going to be some candy shots here, and of course, a big part of the summer was also in producing more candy images to really fill out a photo zine that I want to do and have ready by the time that I do my gallery exhibition. So I needed to produce more images to really fill that out, and also to have more images than necessary so that I could try to, be able to pick and choose which ones actually make it to the zine. So the reason I included this one is I had an idea of doing some chocolates, and I was kind of going for the same style that I've been doing with all the chocolates kind of laid out in an interesting configuration. But I was finding it hard mentally because I really wanted all the chocolate bars to look perfect. And too many of them had cracks or, little issues, and I just couldn't get the shots quite right. And so several weeks I worked on this image, and I had to step away a few times because I just wasn't making any progress. And I think it was my girlfriend who suggested, or maybe my brother, that I maybe have some like smashed chocolate bars. And I thought, hey, that would be new, that would be interesting, but also maybe a little bit therapeutic since I've been working on this for so long. So I went back, smashed them all up, threw them into a pile, and thought, yeah, this looks new, this looks interesting, this looks fun. And so it didn't take too many shots at that point, and I got the shot that I was looking for, and that is this one here. But it just goes to show, sometimes you need to step away, get an outside opinion, and look at it with new eyes. And so that's the case for this, but I'm really pleased with how it came out in the end. And then another candy shot, I wanted to include this because I did shoot it over the summer, and of course it just has some nice summer vibes to it also. But this is another one where I kind of stepped out of what I normally do and tried something new. I put together a different technique for this one, where the backdrop is actually probably about 6 inches off of the actual candy, and I used a plate of glass to be able to make that separation. And I thought it came out with a really cool effect. And the backdrop that I used here is a piece of paper where, depending on how the light hits it and the angle of the camera, it will produce different colors. So you could have like green and blue, red and orange, or in this case, you kind of have like sunset vibes to it. So it was really fun to get to play with that and experiment with a new technique. And so I wanted to include that one here as well. And then We Love Video, I'm not a big fan of the heat, and here in Texas, it gets hot. So as the summer has rolled in, I've been looking for opportunities to do fun things indoors, and certainly watching movies in the AC is a really great way to do that. We Love Video is a nonprofit. They rent movies from their collection, a volunteer-run organization, and they have a really extensive library of movies. So it's really cool. It's like a local mom and pop video rental, and I love going in there. I love the vibes of the place. But what's also special is that they do a lot of community events. So they have like VHS swaps and poster sales and things where they'll have outside, local Austin folks just come and share their collection, which is really cool. They also have a small movie theater in the back of We Love Video where they will do screenings of like
regular movies, B movies, short films or movies that local productions have done. So it's really cool. Actually, last night, I went and saw The Ice Cream Man for the first time, which if you're a fan of kind of like horror / B films, The Ice Cream Man is a really great one. I would highly, highly recommend it. And while I was at We Love Video, they always have some interesting stuff in their display. I was out doing a little photo walk with my E500, and I took the opportunity to get a little selfie of myself to sort of document that moment.
All right, so those are the photos of my summer that I wanted to share with you all. I think they do a pretty good job of summarizing the past 2 to 3 months for me. But I would love to know what you are all also working on. What things have you photographed? And also, what things are you maybe not photographing? I know for me in the summer, it's really hot, and so I tend to avoid outside like the plague. And so I'd love to know from your end, what are some things that maybe you choose to shoot in the summer, and what are things that you maybe don't do in the summer as well? So let me know those in the comments below. But if you enjoyed this video, do give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. That's going to keep you in the know for when the next video drops. But for now, I'm Colton. I'll see you in the next one.